All right, so with the mannequin complete, we need to actually combine these together, right? Because right now, part was I on the ears, right? They're all separate pieces, which is this is one whole shell of a model, right? So they need to be combined. So we're gonna go to modeling. I'm gonna hit tab to go into object mode. And if we try to just take this and hit Control J to merge, you'll see it's gonna do this. And the reason why is because a bunch of these pieces they have this mirror modifier. So we have to apply. So you go like this and hit apply. Now I'd have to go through to every one of them and do that. But another way of doing it is I'm just going to click on one. I'm going to hold shift and I'm just going to click on all the things that are mirrored. So basically the rest of the legs here. And then if you hold Alt or Option if you're on a Mac, you click on this, and if you hit apply, it will do that action to all of the items. So now if you look, you'll see they all have those applied. And that works for everything. Yeah, sometimes when I've done it, it didn't really work, but all the same. So now those are completed. We can go ahead and I'm just going to grab all of it. You should just be able to hit A, actually. I just don't like it because it grabs actually, go up here to the camera and light. Let's just turn the visibility of those off so I don't accidentally see them anymore. They're kind of annoying. So I'll hit A. Then we're going to hit Control J, or you go up to Object Join, and now it'll be as one piece. Now, that might seem great, but what you're going to notice if I go back to sculpting is they're not actually merged in any way. Like it's one shell, but like technically there's multiple shape nodes under it. So what I want to do is actually remesh this, and that will combine them. It's sort of like a Boolean operation if you're familiar with those, or like Pathfinder inside of Illustrator, where basically you combine shapes. It's a little bit rougher in 3D though, so you'll see it doesn't work well by default. So if you go to remesh, you'll see, I think we did this earlier. So I can click on this, and then if you click on this, it'll give you the rough size. So this looks like one, this one will be point. So if you do like one of the medium size elements, and then if you hit remesh, you're going to see the results are going to be so-so. It's going to be relatively rough, and you can see it did indeed merge them, but like some things, like see how the ears got like combined with it. So this is a little chonky, not in like a good way. So that doesn't quite work. So what we can do is this. I'm going to go to remesh. I'm gonna hit the little thing here. Let's do the ear this time, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll hit remesh again. And you'll see it's a little bit better, but it is still merged right in here, right? Which I don't really super like. And it's a little higher res than I may like. I mean, that doesn't bother me as much. I can smooth that out. So it's enough where I can smooth out details if I need to. That's how broad I want the faces to be. So we can actually do something to make this a little bit better. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go here, and you can see it says 0.175. That's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the adaptivity to it. And what adaptivity does is this. I'm actually going to make this a higher number. So don't do this. I'm just showing you so you can get an idea of what it does. Okay, that's fine. Now when I hit remesh, you'll see what it does. Um, it will add more geometry where it needs it and less where it needs less. So you'll notice this obviously is really terrible, but what I want you to notice is there is more geometry. The faces here, they're smaller than the faces here. So in big broad areas, it's not going to put as much, and in tighter areas, it will put more. It doesn't do a fantastic job, but this will actually help us for this next bit. So I'm going to put this back to 0.1 because I thought that was a good number, and I'm going to leave adaptivity to 1, and then I'm going to hit remesh. And now you're going to see it looks like this. And that's not too terrible. Some of it could be a little bit better. I think 0.1 is still too low. So I'm going to go even lower than that. So you got to kind of, because it says 0.4. Okay, let's try that again. 0.1. Let's hit remesh. I don't know why it keeps going. Okay, let's do 0.025. I'm going to try. Okay, and then we'll hit remesh, and let's see what it does. And it's a little denser than I'd like, but you will see this ear at least is not attached, which is good. Oh, and this one's not either. All right, great. So basically, if you have something, this is probably good enough, right? I could try to go a little bit broader, like let's try, 0.035 or whatever. But basically, you want something that is roughly around this. You're going to have to play around with it. Some bits like here, there's just no way around it. It's going to be a little rough. There's just not much you could do about that. Um, what I want to be able to do is have it that the faces are small enough that if I go like this, I can smooth it out, right? So, for example, if I were to turn this off so you can see how like you can see the faceting here? If I go like this, see, I can smooth that out. That's what I want. If it's too dense, so let's go even denser. Let's do like point zero 0.05, and then we'll hit remesh. Hopefully it doesn't make my computer poof into terribleness. I'm gonna pause it while it thinks it crashed, to be honest, but it actually didn't. Okay, so it looks fine, but what I want you to see is this is obviously it's super dense. Okay, what's gonna happen is because it is so dense, I'm gonna turn this back off. You'll notice that when I try to smooth this, see how I'm having a hard time? You could still see how those edges are tight. I'm holding shift and smoothing. See how it's not really smoothing out because it's too dense. So I want it smooth enough where I can get rid of that surface and that I can blend my objects together, but not but so I want it broad enough for that, but obviously dense enough where I can still keep my details. So that's the sweet spot that we're looking for. So obviously every model is a little bit different. Where are we here? Is this the right? Yeah. So like this here is a pretty good amount because like I said, I can hold shift, I can smooth that out. You can see I completely can make this blend. Don't worry about these little things. That's because of the adaptivity. If you see it here, it added these little things here. That's one of the problems with using adaptivity, but we're just going to roll with it for now. Basically, we're going to bind the objects using remesh, and then we should end up with something kind of like this. Okay, so I think I'm going to call that good for this video, and then the next one we'll just do kind of broad sculpting. We'll talk about those things.